character that was been in Panorama for 30 years almost. I think I've always been young at mind. I'd always worked with young people, didn't want to be around old people. I thought they were bitchy and complaining. I remember when we moved into Panorama, I think this is one of the few places in the nation where people are, for the most part, happy. Well, glass has this mesmeric quality about it. Everybody loves colored glass. I don't know, as a kid when I was taken to church, I always was watching the light in the colored glass windows. Well, because of the beauty of the light passing through it. Well, it's so beautiful. It also transmits color. I was always trying to figure out ways of manipulating light. So it wasn't just glass, it was working with light. As far as I know, I was the first person west of the Mississippi to do any exploration of glass. Didn't have a teacher. Art is a process of the mind, and you just train it the same way you would for mathematics or something else. It's just that art's different from the other. And as far as I'm concerned, it's the most important subject in the curriculum. And the reason for that is because, well, if you look at the ugliness of a lot of man-made projects, if there'd been art behind them, they would have been more beautiful. Well, I guess my parents supplied me with art supplies when I was very young. And I got hit with a tennis ball in my right eye when I was not playing, but I was waiting for a court and wasn't watching what I was doing, and I got in the way of a tennis ball and it blinded that eye. No, I'm still blind. I don't wear a patch. And I drive a car, huh? Yes. I bought a new one in April. I feel very privileged to have been able to see so much of it. Not many people get that opportunity. I think I had a lot of very productive students over the years. And they become exceptionally good. But art is full of idea. And the ideas are intriguing. And students just naturally do good work. Chuck Close is world famous. They outdid their professor. But the point of all of this was his advisors in high school told him he should take up mechanics because he was a very poor student. Well, he came to me, and over the years I encouraged him. It's amazing that before he got Well, to begin with, he got into the university, which he was told he would never be able to do. He got a scholarship to Yale for a summer session. He became a very brilliant artist, intellectually and also physically. He's a wonderful example of change due to encouragement. Always feel fortunate to have had Chuck Close as a student and to have had some input on Chihuly. He was never a student. He just came to me for help and advice. Well, we had friends up at Bellingham that had peacocks. And at first they wouldn't sell me any. And then eventually they did. And we always had at least 3. They were great pets. I would clip their wings so they wouldn't fly away, but eventually they would always come back anyhow to their... I built them up. What we called a peat pen, which I thought was architecturally quite nice. And we always put them away at night. But the male would always, you know, people think peacocks are noisy, but that's a fable. They're only noisy during mating season, and that isn't very long. I gave Chihuly a pair. And I think I gave him a male and 2 hens. Why jewelry? I don't know the answer to that. I just became fascinated with it. The process is fascinating. The ring is an aquamarine stone, and it has no 2 facets on it the same. Now you know all cut stones have regular faceting, but there are no 2 facets on it the same. I think it's my name for it. And I'm the only one that does it, that I know. Stones in many places of the world are cut deep. So they are not little shallow pieces, they're deep pieces. Gold is much more difficult to work with than silver.
Because?
I don't know why, it just is. Well, it's more difficult to shape. You know, I think most of you think of gold as being soft. That isn't true. And space. You know, most people don't think of space as being anything. But to me, I see space. You manipulate it just as you do the object. You design the spaces as you design the product. The material is spun from bark of a tree. It is very delicately embroidered all over, and the sparkles in it are a natural material of mica. It predates the mirror cloth that is being made in India, for instance. If you'd have a mind at peace,
and a heart that would not harden,
go through a door into
that opens wide,
into a beautiful garden. I have had so many honors dropped on me for one thing and another. I've never understood why.